If there is one thing that Hollywood hides under its glitzy surface, it's the personal trials and struggles of its biggest stars. What happened when the camera stopped rolling and their glamorous personas dissolved into the harsh realities of substance dependency? Today we're pulling back the curtain to uncover the hidden struggles of 25 Hollywood actors who battled addictions, revealing how their personal challenges cast long shadows over their illustrious careers. Number 1. Judy Garland. Judy's radiant performances lit up the silver screen, especially in her timeless role in The Wizard of Oz. But behind the scenes, she endured unimaginable pressure from Hollywood's ruthless studio system. From a young age, Judy was thrust into a strict routine by MGM Studios, which controlled every aspect of her life. To keep her performing relentlessly, studio executives introduced her to amphetamines, popularly known as pep pills, to boost her energy and suppress her appetite. This marked the beginning of her devastating addiction. As Judy's career progressed, she increasingly relied on barbiturates to sleep and alcohol to cope with the stress and demands placed upon her. Her struggles with weight, mental health, and self-esteem added further fuel to the fire, creating a tragic cycle of dependency. Tragically, her addiction spiraled out of control, leading to a fatal overdose at just 47 years old. Judy's story exemplifies the dark side of Hollywood's golden age, where even the brightest stars could not escape the cruel and exploitative system that contributed to their downfall. Garland remains a symbol of both immense talent and the heavy cost of fame. Garland was reportedly given amphetamines to maintain energy throughout the grueling filming process and barbiturates to sleep. Number 2. Spencer Tracy. Spencer was an acting powerhouse, celebrated for his profound performances in films like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Yet Tracy's off-screen life told a far more troubling story. Behind every stellar performance was a lifelong battle with alcoholism that haunted him until his death. Tracy's drinking began early in his career, reportedly exacerbated by his struggles with guilt over his Catholic upbringing and his son's disability. Despite his addiction, Tracy managed to deliver some of the finest performances of his generation, masking his personal struggles from the public eye. His relationship with Katharine Hepburn also brought a measure of stability into his life. However, the disease of addiction often led to drunken outbursts, deteriorating health, and a constant battle with his demons. Tracy's internal torment highlights the harsh reality that even immense talent and accolades, including 2 Academy Awards, could not insulate him from the grip of addiction. His story remains a sobering reminder of how personal struggles can accompany even the most accomplished lives. Number 3. Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth epitomized beauty and glamour, with her stunning violet eyes and extraordinary talent defining Hollywood's golden age. Yet, Taylor's personal life was filled with turmoil. Known for her tumultuous love life and 8 marriages, Taylor also battled a years-long addiction to drugs and alcohol. The star began abusing prescription painkillers after undergoing numerous back surgeries, a dependency that spiraled out of control alongside decades of alcohol abuse. Taylor's struggles led her to multiple stints in rehab, becoming one of the first A-list celebrities to publicly open up about her addiction and recovery. Her decision to face her demons, however, turned her into an advocate for addiction recovery and mental health, paving the way for others in Hollywood to seek help openly. While her beauty and on-screen brilliance continue to define her legacy, Taylor's battle with addiction illustrates how even icons are not immune to human vulnerabilities. Her resilience in conquering these struggles marked her as not just a superstar, but a fighter. Number 4. Montgomery Clift. Montgomery's smoldering intensity made him a standout among his contemporaries, but his life was irrevocably altered after a near-fatal car accident in 1956. The crash left Clift with severe facial injuries and chronic pain, both physical and emotional, that eventually led him into a devastating addiction to painkillers and alcohol. While he continued acting in critically acclaimed performances, the shadow of addiction loomed large. Clift became increasingly reclusive and unstable, with his pain driving him to self-medicate to dangerous extremes. His friends, including Elizabeth Taylor, tried to intervene, but his downward spiral proved irreversible. Clift's tragic death at the age of 45 robbed the world of a monumental talent and served as a cautionary tale about how coping mechanisms can lead to catastrophic outcomes. His life was a stark reminder of the vulnerability behind the fame. Number 5. Errol Flynn. Errol was the swashbuckling heartthrob of the 1940s, embodying charisma and daring on screen. However, his playboy lifestyle offset garnered just as much attention, revealing a man who indulged heavily in alcohol and other vices. Flynn's hard drinking became a defining aspect of his private life, with accounts of his outrageous escapades captivating the tabloids. Flynn's addiction to alcohol eventually took its toll on his health and career. His bloated appearance and increasingly unreliable behavior marred the suave image that had once endeared him to audiences. Flynn died of a heart attack at the age of 50, leaving behind a legacy tinged with tragedy. His life serves as a stark example of how the pressures of fame and an unbridled lifestyle can lead to tragic consequences. Number 6. Mickey Rooney. Mickey dazzled audiences with his charm and talent, but his off-screen life was a different story. Behind his cheerful demeanor was a man struggling with addiction and financial insecurity. Rooney admitted to self-medicating with alcohol and drugs throughout his career, a habit that began during his meteoric rise to fame. Additionally, he developed a gambling addiction that drained much of his fortune, pushing him into financial ruin and forcing him to take on roles he otherwise wouldn't have accepted. Despite his struggles, Rooney managed to rebuild his career in his later years, serving as a testament to resilience even in the face of personal adversity. His story is a poignant reminder of the toll that fame and fortune can take on those unprepared for its weight. Number 7. Marilyn Monroe. Few stars have captivated the world as Marilyn Monroe did, but her life behind the camera was deeply troubled. Monroe's addiction to barbiturates and pills began early in her career, fueled by chronic insomnia, depression, and the pressures of being the biggest sex symbol in Hollywood. Despite her immense popularity, Monroe's struggles with mental health were amplified by substance dependency. Over time, her addiction spiraled, leading to erratic behavior on set and contributing to her tragic death by overdose at the age of 36. Marilyn's story remains one of Hollywood's darkest cautionary tales, portraying the fragility of even the brightest icons. Number 8. Vivian Lee. Known for her iconic role in Gone with the Wind, Vivian Lee's life was an intense battle between artistic brilliance and inner torment. Lee was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, a condition that she often tried to escape through alcohol. Her addiction compounded her struggles, leading to erratic behavior and breakdowns that impacted her career. Despite her personal turmoil, Lee delivered legendary performances, masking the pain that plagued her behind the scenes. Her tragic death at 53 left the world mourning a talent that was often overshadowed by personal struggles. Lee's story highlights the destructive impact of addiction paired with untreated mental illness. Although iconic, Lee reportedly struggled with pressures of fame and turned to alcohol. Number 9. Rita Hayworth. Rita, one of Hollywood's most glamorous leading ladies, captivated audiences with her beauty and incredible talent in films like Gilda. Beneath her stunning exterior and electrifying stage presence, though, Hayworth hid a painful struggle with alcoholism. Her dependency began as she attempted to cope with feelings of inadequacy and emotional pain caused by a tumultuous personal life. Born Margarita Cancino, Hayworth changed her name and identity to fit industry standards, creating an inner conflict that haunted her throughout her career. As life and her marriages unraveled, alcohol became her escape. Hayworth's dependency escalated during her later years, leaving her career deeply impacted by her struggles. Her health began to deteriorate and she developed Alzheimer's disease, complicating her life further. The public later came to know just how grueling her battle with addiction had been, as her loved ones revealed the details of her pain. Hayworth's story is a heartbreaking example of how intense pressure to maintain an image can lead to self-destruction. Although her talent and beauty remain legendary, her inner struggles serve as a cautionary tale about the cost of living under the Hollywood microscope. Number 10. Lana Turner. Lana was the quintessential Hollywood starlet, embodying Golden Age glamour with her radiant smile and dazzling style. While her life seemed like a fairy tale to her fans, Turner fought her own battles behind closed doors with alcoholism. Known for her tumultuous love life, including 7 marriages, Turner's personal dramas often became fodder for tabloids. Struggling with heartbreak and an unstable personal life, she turned to alcohol for solace. Her dependency took a toll on her health and professional reputation. Though she continued to shine on screen, her battle with addiction loomed heavily over her personal life. One of the most notable moments in her life, the controversial trial in which her daughter was tried for killing Turner's abusive lover, Johnny Stompanato, added to her struggles, pushing her further into emotional despair. Despite these challenges, Turner managed to maintain an impressive career and leave a significant mark on Hollywood history. Her story is a testament to both resilience and vulnerability, showing how even the most glamorous icons have shadows in their lives. Number 11. Robert Downey Jr. Robert Jr.'s journey from acclaimed actor to a symbol of Hollywood redemption is as dramatic as his roles on screen. Known for his early brilliance in films like Chaplin, Downey's talent was matched by his deeply troubled personal life. His addiction to drugs and alcohol began at a young age, with his father, filmmaker Robert Downey Sr., reportedly introducing him to substance use as a child. This exposed Downey to an unstable foundation that would haunt him well into his adult life. In the 1990s, Downey's career took a drastic hit as his addiction spiraled out of control, leading to multiple arrests, public meltdowns, and stints in rehab. At one point, his substance dependency overshadowed his reputation as a gifted performer. But against all odds, Downey fought his way back to recovery, eventually becoming one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood with his iconic portrayal of Tony Stark in the Iron Man franchise. His story is one of resilience, proving even at the brink of self-destruction, redemption is possible. Today, Robert Downey Jr. stands as a beacon of hope for those fighting their own inner battles. Number 12. Liza Minnelli, daughter of Judy Garland. Liza Minnelli inherited both her mother's incredible talent and her struggles with addiction. A Broadway and Hollywood icon, Minnelli dazzled audiences with her legendary performance in Cabaret. However, fame wasn't enough to shield her from the demons that plagued her, some of which stemmed from her tumultuous childhood, growing up in her mother's shadow. Like her mother, Minnelli battled substance dependency that began with prescription medication, often used to deal with chronic health issues and the intense pressures of fame. Alcoholism compounded these issues, leading to publicized stints in rehab. Despite her struggles, Minnelli's resilience and unmatched charisma on stage helped her reclaim her career on multiple occasions, earning her a place as one of the greatest entertainers of all time. Her journey has been one of ups and downs, a reflection of determination and survival in the face of almost impossible odds. Number 13. Marlon Brando. Marlon, one of the most transformative actors in cinema history, lived a life as complex as the characters he portrayed. Known for his legendary performances in A Streetcar Named Desire and The Godfather, Brando struggled privately with food and alcohol addictions throughout much of his career. These dependencies were fueled by his deeply rooted insecurities and the constant pressure to maintain the genius image the world had placed on him. Brando's addictive behaviors often alienated those close to him and contributed to erratic career choices that puzzled fans and collaborators alike. Despite this, he always managed to showcase his unparalleled talent on screen, delivering performances that redefined acting for generations. In later years, Brando withdrew from the public eye, but his legacy as a brilliant yet deeply flawed figure in Hollywood endures. His life serves as a reminder of how extraordinary artistry can often be accompanied by extraordinary pain. Number 14. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Philip was regarded as one of his generation's most gifted actors, known for his stunning performances in films like Capote and The Master. However, behind his incredible craft was a haunting battle with addiction that ultimately claimed his life. Hoffman struggled with substance abuse in the early stages of his career, but managed to achieve sobriety for over 2 decades, during which he garnered critical acclaim and numerous awards. Tragically, his struggles resurfaced later in life, culminating in his fatal heroin overdose in 2014 at the age of 46. The news of his death sent shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond, as it became a heartbreaking reminder of addiction's relentless grip. Hoffman's story is both inspiring and deeply poignant, highlighting his immense talent while demonstrating the devastating toll addiction can take, even on those who seem to have everything. Number 15. Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker in The Dark Knight was a chilling redefinition of comic book villains, earning him posthumous acclaim and an Academy Award. Yet, behind the magnetic performances, Ledger struggled silently with insomnia and prescribed medication dependency. The immense pressure to deliver iconic roles and balance his personal life weighed heavily on him, leading to reliance on prescription drugs to manage his mental and physical well-being. In 2008, at just 28 years old, Ledger was found dead from an accidental overdose of prescription medications, shocking the entire entertainment industry. His death was a tragic end to a promising career and highlighted the dangers of unchecked mental health struggles. Ledger's legacy lives on through his remarkable performances, particularly his final, unforgettable turn as the Joker. Yet his story remains a sobering reminder of how mental health and addiction intertwine, even with the most brilliant souls. Number 16. Tierney. Jean, celebrated for her ethereal beauty and performances in classics like Laura and Leave Her to Heaven, led a life colored by unimaginable struggles behind the scenes. Tierney battled severe mental health issues and depression throughout her career, worsened by personal tragedies, including the birth of a child with disabilities due to Tierney contracting rubella while pregnant. To cope with her emotional pain, she developed an unhealthy dependence on alcohol. While her career thrived temporarily, the emotional toll and reliance on drinking led to breakdowns and hospitalizations, hindering her work in later years. Tierney eventually retired from Hollywood, seeking peace and healing away from the limelight. Despite her hardships, she is remembered for her haunting performances and her journey of resilience in the face of extraordinary grief. Her story remains a poignant reminder that success doesn't shield one from pain. Behind the scenes, Tierney struggled increasingly with mental health and alcohol dependency. Number 17. Clark Gable. Known as the King of Hollywood for roles like Rhett Butler in Gone with the Wind, Clark Gable's suave image masked deep personal turmoil. Gable dealt with heartbreak, guilt, and loneliness behind his confident persona. The tragic death of his beloved wife, actress Carole Lombard, in a plane crash left him shattered and searching for solace. In the wake of her death, Gable reportedly turned to alcohol, using it as a coping mechanism to numb his grief. While his addiction never fully derailed his career, those close to him witnessed how deeply his pain ran. Even as he continued delivering memorable performances, the strain of his personal struggles weighed heavily on his health. Gable's story is a stark example of how even icons revered as invincible hide battles that no camera can capture. Number 18. Joan Crawford. Synonymous with classic Hollywood glamour, Joan exuded elegance and control on screen. Behind the scenes, however, she endured a life punctuated by emotional struggles and dependency on both alcohol and prescription drugs. Crawford's battle with addiction was exacerbated by the mounting pressures to maintain her image as she aged, as well as tumultuous relationships and personal insecurities. Alcohol often tainted her relationships with loved ones and colleagues, turning what should have been celebrated moments into tense or heartbreaking situations. Later in life, Crawford retreated from public view as her dependency took a toll on her health and reputation. She remains a towering figure in Hollywood history, but her life serves as a reminder of the crushing weight of maintaining perfection in the public eye. Number 19. Jean Harlow. Jean, often referred to as the blonde bombshell, was one of Hollywood's earliest sex symbols, captivating audiences with her stunning beauty and charm in films like Dinner at 8 and Platinum Blonde. While Harlow's rise to fame appeared dazzling, her personal life was marked by hardship and struggles. Behind the glamorous exterior was a woman dealing with turbulent relationships and a rumored dependence on alcohol to cope with the pressures of fame. Her life was tragically cut short at the age of 26 due to kidney failure, shocking the world and leaving fans to mourn the loss of a bright star. Although her addiction remains a topic of speculation, Harlow's story stands as a reminder of how quickly the pressures of stardom can take a toll, especially in the demanding world of early Hollywood. Despite her brief career, Jean Harlow left an indelible mark on the film industry and became a timeless icon. Number 20. Barbara Payton. Barbara was one of Hollywood's most tragic cautionary tales. Once a promising actress who starred alongside James Cagney and Gary Cooper in her heyday, Payton's addiction to alcohol and a string of personal scandals overshadowed her career. As her dependency worsened, so did her troubles, leading to financial ruin, a damaged reputation, and legal issues. Payton's spiral was steep and unforgiving, and she spent her final years destitute and struggling to rebuild her life. Despite her tragic ending, her story highlights the devastating cost of addiction and serves as a stark reminder of how quickly Hollywood can embrace and discard its stars. Number 21. Lauren Bacall. Lauren, known for her smoky voice, captivating eyes, and unforgettable performances in films like To Have and Have Not and The Big Sleep, was the epitome of Hollywood Golden Age glamour. However, Bacall endured personal battles that she seldom revealed to the public. The loss of her husband, Humphrey Bogart, left her in profound grief, and she struggled through turbulent periods where she relied on alcohol to numb her pain. Bacall's resilience ultimately helped her navigate the difficulties. She continued to build a remarkable career spanning decades, defying the odds and retaining her dignity. Her legacy is a testament to her strength, talent, and timeless appeal. Bacall's journey serves as a powerful reminder that even the strongest icons are not immune to struggles, but can rise above them with determination. Number 22. Richard Burton. Richard, a titan of the stage and screen, is as famous for his legendary voice and acting talent as he is for his tempestuous personal life. Known for his roles in films like Cleopatra and his infamous romance with Elizabeth Taylor, Burton struggled with a lifelong battle against alcoholism. His addiction often intertwined with his passionate but volatile relationship with Taylor, creating explosive headlines and impacting his career. Though Burton remained a towering talent, his drinking affected his health and longevity, ultimately contributing to his early death at 58. His story is a potent reminder of how fame and fortune do little to curb emotional and physical pain, and how love, no matter how deep, cannot always cure addiction. Number 23. Betty Ford. Betty Ford's fame came not from Hollywood, but from the prestigious position she held as the First Lady of the United States. Yet she became a celebrated figure for addressing addiction head-on, admitting her struggles with alcohol dependency and prescription drugs. Ford's candor about her addiction was unprecedented, particularly given her public status, and she openly sought treatment. Her actions led to the founding of the Betty Ford Center, which has since become one of the most renowned rehab centers in the world. Ford's bravery and transparency saved not just her life, but the lives of countless others, as her story helped shatter the stigma around addiction and mental health. Number 24. Dorothy Dandridge. Dorothy, the first African-American woman nominated for a Best Actress Oscar for her role in Carmen Jones, broke barriers in Hollywood. However, her personal life was fraught with heartbreak, financial struggles, and battles with alcohol dependency. After a failed marriage and struggles to find roles due to racial discrimination, Dandridge turned to alcohol to cope with her overwhelming challenges. Her untimely death at the age of 42 shocked the world and served as a painful reminder of the pressures and obstacles faced by trailblazing stars. Dorothy Dandridge's influence on the entertainment industry and her fight for representation remain powerful parts of her legacy, even as her life was tragically cut short. Oh, and for your information, Dandridge's most famous role came during personal struggles with alcohol. Number 25. Veronica Lake. Veronica, the sultry blonde with a signature peekaboo hairstyle, captivated audiences in films like Sullivan's Travels. Behind her glamorous persona, however, Lake faced immense personal hardships, including a battle with alcoholism. After a series of career setbacks, failed marriages, and financial difficulties, alcohol became Lake's escape from the weight of her struggles. Her dependency led to erratic behavior and alienated many of her industry peers, forcing her to leave Hollywood and live in near poverty during her later years. Despite the tragic trajectory of her life, Veronica Lake remains a symbol of 1940s Hollywood glamour, a bittersweet figure whose beauty and talent could not shield her from personal turmoil. The struggles of these Hollywood legends remind us that fame and fortune often come at a price, with addiction lurking behind the glamour. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content like this. Oh, and before you go, check out our next video about the most generous actors who use their wealth and fame to make the world a better place. See you there.